Welcome to another episode of Kicking It with the Lord with your host, Lord My Ego, where we check our feelings at the door along with our nature. As the Manaj said, don't be coming around here with no weird energy. All right. The devil has been busy, Satan has been busy today, let me tell you. I almost didn't get this off the ground today, but like my good man, The Weeknd once said, expectations can kill a simple man. Yeah, man. So, today's subject is friendly competition. We all know about friendly competition. It's what this nation was built on. Going back to yin versus yang. But I digress. I'm talking about the competition, like friendly competition, like between Coke and Pepsi, Gatorade and Powerade, Wendy's and Mickey D's, that type of friendly competition. But there's something else out there. What is it, you ask? It's the type of competition that when you play both sides of the fence and you meet in the middle, you're still walking a seesaw like a tightrope. And I'm here to tell you, it's no fun ride to begin with. But what are we going to do about it, fellas and ladies? What are we going to do about it? I'll tell you what I'm going to do about it. I'm not going to participate. I never have. I never will. I removed myself from the reindeer games. And you know how that is able to be accomplished? Elevations. Elevations, levels, and frequency. 3D confused people don't understand what I'm talking about right now. But my brethren and sisterin who are on the same level and frequency that I'm on, they understand perfectly well. And thumbs up to those people. Yeah, I set the bar a little high last week with my first guest, King Moya. He spit some game, man. Spit a little bit too much game, if you want to be correct and honest. I didn't plan on getting that deep, man, but we were there. And I'll never put a target on my back like that again with this platform, because they can easily shut your lights off. Not out of fear, but out of just basic intelligence. Why would I go there? Why would I derail something before it even gets started? That's confusion trying to approach the fifth dimension, and we won't allow that mess. So let's talk about what Lord My Ego's day started out with. Let's see. I usually go to McDonald's. I like McDonald's. I get their big breakfast. I get iced coffee and a small orange juice. It usually comes to like $10 after you round it up 13 cents. I like evens and not odds. So, meal usually costs $10. That's respectable in this economy climate. But the McDonald's I usually go to, I didn't want to patronize them this morning because I don't get to eat in peace there. I usually go there, I order my food, I sit there and I map out my day. And usually in doing so, I've got a homeless guy bugging me. I mean, he's a permanent fixture there. And the last time I was there, which was yesterday morning, I not had to share my meal with him. I wanted to share my meal with him. I took a big breakfast and cut it in half, gave him half, and I ate half. And we both were full without either one of us stomachs feeling neglected. But I didn't want to go through all that this morning. I wanted to eat my big breakfast that I paid for by myself. Is that selfish? I don't know. I don't think so. But so, I went to another McDonald's. And come to find out, this is a franchise McDonald's opposed to a corporate McDonald's. There's a difference. I didn't know that. There's a difference. First of all, I walk into this place, it's a lot cleaner. Franchises, I don't know. I'm going to have to check them out on different levels besides fast food, but I digress. So I use the kiosk and I bring my food in, and lo and behold, I said, wait, there's something must be going wrong here. Did I forget to round up something, or? Because it came up to $9. $9. I usually pay $10. So when I went up to pay at the cashier, I said, hey, there was a price discrepancy. I don't know what's going on. The young man at the register said, it's probably because you went to a corporate McDonald's and we're a franchise. Well, what's the difference? He said, well, a corporate, they get to dictate their own prices when we have to go with the set price across the board. Oh, really? Man, that seems kind of unfair. But I took it in stride. Hell, I used that other dollar, that extra dollar, and went and played me 2 lottery numbers for 50 cents a piece. I gotta check that out there later. But we'll get to that. So I ordered, get my food. Oh, well, they have it set up to where you can just get one of those table stands with the number on it, and they know where to bring the food at. I went to the bathroom and washed my hands like I normally do, and come back, food's already there. Hey, great, dude, these guys are efficient, So I have a routine, if you will, just setting. I'm meticulous like that. I just setting everything. Oh, what's going on here? Where's the ketchup at for my hash brown? Where's the salt and pepper at for my egg, which was slightly a bigger portion than I would have got at corporate. I've ate there several times, and that was the biggest piece of egg I've seen thus far. Wow, that's crazy. And then where's the straws at? Yeah. Like, dude, what's... So I go up there and I get all this stuff. And then I come back and sit down. And there's grape jelly on the thing. Grape jelly's okay, but I like strawberry jelly. So I go up there and get the strawberry jelly. And then something, I'm anal like that. Something told me to ask the young man at the register, hey, my guy, what is going on with the condiments, man? I didn't have all this stuff to begin with, man. He's like, did you ask for it when you made your order? I didn't know that was an option. Did I ask for it when I made my order? No, I'm new here. This is my first time at this location. Oh, yeah, you got to ask for that stuff. Oh, okay. I'll keep that in mind. I get back, get my whole setup. I'm ready to eat. Pray over my food like I always do. You got to pray over your food because you don't know what's going on back in that kitchen and what type of emotion McDonald's cook is going through back there. Believe me, I've been in the business for a while beforehand, and I know what it's like a demonic version of waiting. So I prayed over my food. I commenced to eating. Get my coffee and my orange juice, iced coffee and my orange juice. And see this lady walking around. She's wiping off tables, conversing with 3 tables. Hey, she's chopping it up and all, helpful. Hey, did you need any more of this? Did you need any more of that? And, oh, no, Betty, we're fine, And she's working the tables. I'm like, looking like, they don't have that at the other McDonald's. Hell, you'll be lucky to show up at a clean table that was previously used before you got there, So I go on and watch this spill. She's working the crowd. I'm like, almost as if she's working for a tip or something. What the? They don't tip at McDonald's. So a couple more minutes go by. One of the tables get ready to leave. Oh, Betty, thank you. We'll see you again tomorrow morning. And it looked like the lady slid Betty a $5 bill in her hand. Betty, oh, thank you. Guys, I hope to see you guys again tomorrow morning. When did they start tipping at McDonald's? I'd like to know. But and then it started to dawn on me. I put 2 and 2 together and came up with 3. I says to myself, that's it. Betty's got a little hustle going on here. That's why my stuff didn't come with the appropriate condiments, because Betty makes sure that she retrieves them for you so she can get her gratuity at McDonald's. I guess whatever you have to do to make the ends meet in this climate of economy. But I'll tell you one thing, Betty, I'm not participating in no reindeer games, okay? I'll make sure that when I make my order tomorrow morning, I will be calling out pepper, salt, strawberry jam, and 2 straws. Because the Lord doesn't play that. I remove myself from 3D confusion games. I'm on another level now. I don't buy into that garbage. So, finished my meal, went on about my business, skipped across the little street there. A little busy. It wasn't busy, and I go to the marathon. Play my 2 numbers. Walk in. There's nobody there at attendance at the register. I see where the lottery stuff is. I'm looking for pick 3, pick 4 boards. Where are they at? Lady finally comes out. Hi, how can I help you? I was like, yeah, I'm looking for the pick 3 and pick 4 boards. Oh, they're back there in the corner. Back there in the corner. Shouldn't they be in the vicinity right here where all the other lottery stuff is? Yeah, but you can check your tickets back there, and that's where that contraption is. Huh. Okay. Go back there. Grab me 2 bet slips. 1 pick 3, 1 pick 4. Fill it out. Mind you, I just fill out 1 number. 1 pick 3, 1 pick 4. Because at the end of the day, only 1 number is going to come out. But you have people who are under the false impression that the more numbers they play, the greater their odds will to hit that midday number, whatever it may be. That's 3D confusion working against you. Gravity working against you. So she rings up my tickets. I said, do you usually get people in here who play a lot of numbers? Oh yeah, people come in with sleeves of numbers, playing up to $30, $40 worth. I said, oh really? That's wasteful. Only 1 number's gonna come out. Now you compare 5D consciousness with 3D confusion. 3D confusion is playing 50 numbers, paying $50. I played $1, 50-cent increments. And if that number comes out and neither one of us hits, they wasted $50 while I invested $1. You see how that works? That's how that works, you know? I just don't get it, man. I just don't get it. But I digress. As you can see, I'm in my Detroit Lion gear. I mean, you know, King Moya didn't get to elaborate on that last week. He kept mentioning spots from Detroit, and that's where he hailed from before he got here. I'm just down the road, Saginaw, Michigan, but a third generation Lions fan. You know, born in it, not sworn in it. And we didn't get mollywopped last week by the Minnesota Vikings, but we learned a lesson there. And it was a lesson of humility. Because if you won't humble yourself, God will humble yourself. He will humble you instead. I was leading up, a couple days leading up to the game. I belong to a couple fan groups, and I like to go in the comment section, the fan section, and commiserate with my pride brothers. You know what I'm saying? The pride. One pride is what we bank off of. That's our motto. One pride. So I'm just reading a couple comments, and I'm starting to see a pattern. Whoa, hey, hold up. Am I in the right fan section? I had to look. I had to triple look, like what? Because the fan base that I know and have become accustomed to, we're pretty docile, subtle, with our patronage and celebration. You know what I'm saying? We don't get indignant. We don't get ignorant, and it usually like those other fan base do. But not this time. Oh, we're gonna beat the mess out of the Minnesota Vikings. I can't wait. And then they're making all these memes about Dan Campbell. His we're gonna bite their kneecaps off. That spiel, and they're making a mockery of our organization. Our own organization making a mockery of our own organization. Where do they do that at? So I sat and watched the game, and it was just I can't even put into words what I was feeling about this game. I mean, anything that could go wrong went wrong. Jared Goff, he's not a mobile quarterback to begin with. You know what I'm saying? There was a couple times, hey, Goff, what are you doing, man? You could have escaped that coverage and at least got us closer for a third down attempt. Come on, man. And guys dropping balls, and allowing Minnesota to get these, deep route passes and stuff, and just a mess all around, man. But the final score didn't dictate that. It was 27-24. We looked like we had a chance to maybe tie it up or go ahead at the end of the game. I don't know. I had lost interest up until after what I had witnessed. I said, Dan, Mr. Campbell, as I refer to him, he better whip them boys back into shape and bring and do what he does, because he was a tight end on that 0-16 team back in 2016, and he remembers. Oh yeah, he remembers. That's his motivation right there. Oh, that'll never happen again, especially not on my watch. But I had wrote something in the comment section beforehand, and I said something to the effect that they once dubbed the Dallas Cowboys as America's team. I said if God cared anything about sports, the Detroit Lions would be God's team. I get a lot of flack. I get a lot of flack on the replies, and God doesn't care about football, stupid. You're caught up in this. There's so much other, pressing issues that are going on besides sports, and they're just handing it to me. I'm like I said, if you read what I posted, you would have seen that I said, if he was a football fan. Stop jumping to conclusions and make sure you read through what the Lord says, because it's not to be mistaken by your error. But I said what I said. I said what I said. As God's team. No other team, football, basketball, baseball, has been through so much turmoil and anguish other than this team. I mean, we just now, the last few years, have been a respectable, competitive team, But with that being said, I'm going to tell you, they're going to win the Super Bowl. I not guaranteeing, but I got a good feeling on a great authority that we're going to win the Super Bowl this year. How do I know? Because Jesus told me so. Yeshua, the Son, whatever you want to refer to him as. He told me. And if that is any indication for me to head faster to that sports booking window, right now, last time I checked, we're at 9-1 odds. That means if you spend $100 and they go to win the Super Bowl, you get $900 back plus your $100 investment. That's a band if you don't know the math. I'll take that band. Only I'll multiply it by 10. Give me 10 racks out of it. Because I've been waiting a long time for that to happen. And $1,000 just isn't enough. You could call me greedy, self-centered, whatever you want to do it. But at the end of the day, I'm walking away from the pay window with 10 bands in my pocket while you're walking away with 1,000. Because that's how much I believe in my boys. That's how much pride I have for my team. But once again, I digress. I should have had I had a co-host. I had a guest scheduled to be here. Guy by the name of De Jour. He's a man about town, young cat. Got his ear to the ground. Yeah, I've seen him videotaping some stuff going on downtown, you know. Pretty bright guy. Pretty bright guy. I'm sure he would have had a couple things to say, but it was last minute. I don't fault the guy. Had a lot of things going. Guy's a player. You know, he probably running around chasing these little females like he does, you know. So, hey, no more power to him, you know, more power to him. I ain't hating. I'm congratulating, you know. But that just leaves me more things to talk about. And what do I want to tackle next? I want to tackle just everyday things that you just find out on your own by trial and error. For instance, I didn't know if you mixed roach powder with lure, you know, that yellow container with the red frickin' spout on the narrow, skinny spout on the top of it that you find at these box stores. If you take that and you mix it with Bye Bye Bed Bug, and you mix that with Bug MD, and you put it all in one bottle, you come up with a powerful pesticide. I mean, dude, I sprayed this stuff around my efficiency, and those suckers were gone in like 2 weeks of consistent application. I call it the Eradicator 3000. Then these glasses that I got on, I like them, but they break easy. They're flimsy. I get them from the RTA, Regional Transit Authority, here in Dayton, Ohio. And I paid Cat, one of their workers, I paid him $20 for these glasses. They lasted 4 months, and I've had to glue them twice. And in doing so, I got that crazy glue on my fingers. I hate that. I hate that feeling. So I was cleaning my glasses with that stuff on my fingers, and I was using some glass cleaner, but it has pine oil in it. And I'm squirting it all on my glasses. It's getting on my fingers. But it's making the epoxy come off of my fingers real easy. Pine oil. That's an added ingredient in glass cleaner at Family Dollar. Because I'm not going to spend no money on Windex to clean no glass at my efficiency. You can use that Windex glass cleaner for if you got 1,200 square feet, twice as much as what I got. I've got, I believe, 585 square feet. I'm using Family Dollar glass cleaner with pine oil and using it for 2 different applications now. To clean my windows, clean my glass, and to get that epoxy off of my fingers. But it's funny how you stumble upon these things, you know. Every day, if you don't learn something every day, you wasn't paying attention. I strongly believe that you weren't paying attention if you didn't learn something every day. But I digress. I asked on my Facebook post this morning also, I asked, there's 2 roads in this world. The first road, you're winning and learning. And the second road, you're losing all the way to the grave. I asked, what road are you on? It's pretty much a rhetorical question because nobody's going to answer, I wouldn't think. I'm on that losing road. And I'm trying to get to that grave quickly. Nobody's answering it that way. A few people responded, I'm on the road to winning and learning. Yeah, I bet you are, buddy. I bet you are. You're probably one of those people who go to the Hollywood Racino and think they're going to flip their money. In actuality, you're the one who gets flipped. I was once told the best way to double your money is to fold it and put it back in your pocket. Sounds good to me. Too bad I didn't learn that lesson quickly. I probably have a little bit more self-dignity and money in my pocket. But once again, I digress. So what are we talking about? Let's move on to, let me see, hold on. Let me see something here. I thought I had to set up to where I get some callers in here. Let me see. Hold on a second. Sorry about that. I thought that I could get some callers in here. I know there's a way to do this. Let's see here. What does it say? It says allow call in here. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like my eyesight is so bad, bro. You can enable or disable. Let's see here. Come on. All right, we got a problem on our hands. I don't know. Hopefully somebody can call in here. But like I was getting ready to discuss, what in the world is going on with this gatekeeping that we've got going on in society right now? You know, everybody is so protective of their work, of their artistry, oh, you've got to get a licensing to use any of my work, or my trademark or copyright material, whether that be music, literature, clothing lines, stuff like that. I don't know what's going on, but at the end of the day, they always say it's God-given talent. So if I'm doing something of religious or godly favor, why should I get a licensing fee or give you a licensing fee to incorporate something that he gave you in the first place? God-given talent. He gave you that. And I'm trying to facilitate a message on his behalf, and you want to charge God again? Come again? I didn't hear you the first time. Are you crazy? You must be crazy, because where I come from, they call that double dipping. Hey, he's double dipping. He's already, God already let him borrow it, and now he wants to be charged on top of that, while he already got paid for using it in the first place. That's double dipping. You get double dipping. And we don't double dip around here. So I'm the type of person, I don't care what, I'm not going to trademark my ego. Lord, my ego. I'm not going to trademark that. I'm not going to copyright that, or however, whichever applies for whichever one. I'm not going to gatekeep. If you want to make some knockoff stuff with my name on it, go right ahead. But people, they recognize the real from the fake. And if Lord My Ego's not wearing that knockoff stuff, you're not going to prosper too much in the field. You know what I'm saying? I if it's on me, there's 1,000 you, there's only one of me, in the words of Kanye West, Yeah. I make it look good. You can never, duplicate that, or, try to copy it, because you'll fall flat on your face eventually. Because the Lord doesn't play that. Okay? And then you got these people lost, walking around under the impression that designer stuff really matters. Why would you want to consistently wear what somebody else is wearing? Gucci slides, freaking Michael Kors, Dolce and Gabbana, the list goes on, you know what I'm saying? You know what's out there. I basically don't know what's out there because I don't buy into luxury brands. I do the exact opposite because you guys are all looking alike, you know what I'm saying? Case in point, I'm walking around Walmart, and we'll get to that on the back to that on friendly competition. I'm walking around Walmart. I got on my fresh orange outfit, my Bruno Mars exclusive tennis shoes from China. Comfortable, the most comfortable shoes that I own. I got on my Temu, my Temu jean jacket like thing. It's kind of flimsy for a jean jacket, but I make it look good. And then I got some stuff from Shein, And I encountered this cat. He's walking with his buddy. He's got on an orange outfit. Now, I mean, not similar to mine, but it's orange. It's looking good, man, So I'm playing with him. I'm like, hey, bro, who do you think is wearing their outfit better? He looked me up and down. And then he looked at himself. He said, I think I'm winning. Makes you think you're winning. He said, because I got on these, and he lifts up his pants leg, I got on these Balenciagos. Balenciagos. He thought because I was like, silly rabbit, that's why tricks are for kids. You think because you got those expensive gym shoes on that your outfit is rivaling mine? You know how many compliments I got on this outfit just today as if I made the outfit myself? All I did was order it and they sent it to me. And people were praising me like I took some sewing thread and a needle and stitched this stuff together. It gets aggravating after a while. Oh, that looks nice. Your outfit looks nice. Hey, I like those kicks, bro. Where'd you get those? Hey, are those new Carmelos? Carmelos? Is he still in the league? No, bruh. And I'm no gatekeeper, I don't care. He's like, where'd you get those at? I got these over in China. Ordered these from over in China off they're Bruno Mars, but they come from China. It's like, oh. Or they were like, oh. So then I saw a couple other girls walking through there. Oh, I like your outfit. That's nice. I mean, just compliments. But my whole outfit probably cost a fraction less with the shoes than those Balenciagos. So if you go by the price and you determine whose outfit was better, yeah, he won. He was winning. But if you look at the overall appearance, I was winning. And I'll always win. Why, you ask? Because I make cheap stuff look good. From cheap necklaces to cheap shoes to cheap pullovers, and the list goes on. And in the incomparable words of Miss Dolly Parton, It costs a lot of money to look this cheap. Don't get it twisted. Those 45.95s add up, you know what I'm saying? If you're buying 12 or 13 at a time. Because I like to look funky, fresh on a budget. I mean, why would I wear all this other nonsense that all you guys are wearing, and you're paying you're practically paying an arm and a leg to sport it? Ridiculous, man. Ridiculous. But like I said, friendly competition. Here's another thing of friendly competition. When I go to Kroger's, I get cash back a lot of times because I don't feel like going to the bank ATM. It's a little ways away, but Kroger's is right there. So cost me 75 cents just to get cash back. And that's not even, I just walk up to the register, hey, tell them I want cash back, how much, and they add on that 75 cents. I wasn't able to go to Kroger's one day, and I went to Walmart instead. Go up to their register, hey, I'd like to get cash back. Oh, you got to buy something. Buy something? What? Yeah, you got to buy something. So if I buy something, how much will it cost? Oh, it doesn't charge you. Oh, okay. But all I want is cash back. I don't really want to buy any of your product. Well, in that case, you have to go to customer service. Okay. Walk over to customer service. Lady rings it up. She does the transaction. And just before I tap my debit card, I was like, how much is this transaction going to cost me? She said $3.75. Whoa, Tonto. $3 more than your supposed competition charges? Well, sir, if you would have just bought something, you could have got it for free. That's not the point, ma'am. Was I actually getting it for free? Because I bought your item, saved $3.75. Saved $3.75, but I got an item that I didn't want in the first place. But I had to go along in a reindeer game because that was the only way I was going to get this money. But I'm never doing that again. You know, like I said, winning and learning or losing. I stay on the winning and learning road. But that's kind of odd to me. And then I thought to myself, well, they're selling all that cheap stuff out there, or cheap price stuff. They've got to make money somewhere. They've got to balance the bottom line somewhere, and that's how they do it. Wow. While Kroger's, they got better meat selection, I think anyway. Their prices are a little bit more reasonable than Walmart's. And they're closer. So, those are my, reasons why I would go to Kroger's opposed to Walmart. But I bet you at the end of the day, they're both on the same team. Both on the same team. Friendly competition in order to keep you bouncing back and forth. A lot of things, like I brush my teeth with baking soda and peroxide. I've been doing it for two times a day for the last 7 years. Yeah, 7 years. Why, you ask? Because first of all, I refuse to get cosmetic on my teeth, like veneers or anything like that. And second, I think they're putting an added. Don't quote me, and this is just speculation right now. But I think they're putting an added ingredient in that toothpaste with fluoride, so it dinges your teeth up a little bit more. So you'll be forced to either get the veneers, or you could fall into this trap of this whitening kits at home. Look, if you don't go in and get that professionally done, I don't care how many of those whitening kits you buy, you're still going to have the same smile that you had when you first walked in, Don't get it twisted. That's why I noticed that, and that's why I switched to baking soda and peroxide. But wow, that's crazy talk. Why would they do that? Because the world as we know it is falling apart, brick by brick, nail by nail, bolt by bolt. And what are we going to do about it? I mean, I'm not going to dive off into that right now because, like I said, I got to make some moves before I can get something viable like that. But yeah. So what is going on with this call? This caller is, I want to talk to my people, but it's saying something about email, invite link. Let me see here. Yeah, there we go. We're on Podbean.com. Lord, kicking it with the Lord. Here's a scan QR code right here. I don't know what that does. All right. Yeah, I wanted to talk to Du Jour, see what he had going on, But got 5 more minutes because we went way over last time. We went like 20 minutes over. I had to chop, dissect, and then, as you could see, only one 20-minute segment came up because we went deeper than Atlantis, and it wouldn't allow me to upload any of that on this platform. They said, you want to get this whole video on there, you better skip yourself right over to YouTube, which I did, and it's on my YouTube channel. Easy, lowercase, Easy P 3577. I would like for you guys to watch that first podcast because it's powerful before they take it down, because they will take it down, and they will use the excuse copyright infringement because I used the Weeknd's real life intro, which I did on purpose, because we're going to have to do something about this. They'll take down 3/4 of my content off of my YouTube channel because I sample a lot of stuff and didn't pay for it. When in actuality, it was God's to begin with, and you should be paying him. You should be paying him. But I digress. So this time next week, like I said, we're here every Saturday at 2 o'clock, and we go for an hour. I will have it set up next week to where we have it functional for call-ins, because I want to get that done today. But the devil was working. So I got here and my laptop was dead, and all of a sudden the power cord is not in the computer bag. Wow. So that, like I said, expectations can kill a simple man. Let the weekend tell it. So that messed up. So it was a good thing that the library offers laptops with your library card. So that rectified that situation. I go to set up my ring lights, and the clip thing for what you put your cell phone in and holds it up there, it's missing. What the heck? Are you serious? Almost on the verge, but I'm on 5D consciousness now. If I was still back on 3D confusion, I would have had a bona fide sucker attack and messed up everything. I wouldn't be able to come to this space anymore. Wouldn't be able to do my later appointed book signings for my pamphlet, as people like to call it, the Sinner's Guide to Salvation. This is if you're battling serious drug addiction, this is the book for you. This is the pamphlet for you. I keep getting criticized out in the street, like, man, I thought you wrote a book, man. This is a pamphlet. No, buddy, it's not. It has as much content in those few pages that War and Peace has. Tale of Two Cities. Those thick, monstrous books that I wouldn't even attempt to read. But yeah. And I leave you with this nagging, plaguing question. I was proposing this through the week. Which one is larger? Which one is more effective? A teaspoon or a shovel? You would think that it was a redundant question, right? You know, like, wow. Come on, man. The shovel is more effective than the teaspoon. Look how bigger it is. It's bigger by mass. Okay. Here's where you're wrong, buddy. You could take a shovel full of something and try to shove it down. You know, you're trying to fit 6 feet of something in a 4-foot hole. You're going to have a lot of spillover. A lot of it's not going to consume the hole like it's supposed to. But if you take that same teaspoon and you're going to be, like they say, something's taking so long, it's like digging your way to China with a teaspoon, you know, that other thing, yeah. But what I'm saying is, if you try to cram something down somebody's throat with a shovel, they're not going to consume a lot of it. But if you spoon feed somebody something with a teaspoon, you know, like mother does her infant as it progresses off the tit, those babies go through some gerber, peas, and carrots. You know what I'm saying? They go through a lot of that, you know. And that's my point. If you spoon feed somebody, they'll consume it effortlessly instead of trying to shove it down their throat. The only way a shovel is more effective than a teaspoon is if you're going uphill on a locomotive and you've got to stoke that furnace. You're not going to get up that hill with a teaspoon stoking a furnace with coal. It's not going to work. It's not happening. But if you got a shovel, you're getting up that hill with no problem. But we're not stoking furnaces and locomotives going uphill, are we? We're consuming everyday life and everyday subject. And it's better to spoon feed than to cram. And with that being said, Lord my ego, and Kicking It with the Lord, signing off on one other episode. Next week I will have someone lined up, a guest that will show up because he was invited way before the day before. And as I always say in my motto, if you're not following the sky, you're just walking later.